Welcome back, everyone. It's trade deadline time. We'll start with a little all-star fun first. Mo Vaughn of the Blue Jays defeats Eddie Williams of the Phillies 15-14 to become the 1996 Home Run Derby champion. Congratulations, Mo Vaughn. As for the all-star roster, the Astros sent 4 representatives, all hitters. Ray Durham, Alex Rodriguez, and Barry Bonds were all voted as starters by the fans. Greg Jeffries was selected as a sub, but he started anyway because Gary Sheffield was injured for the All-Star game. Last video, I offered 10,000 perfect points to anyone who could predict the All-Star MVP's team. We had predictions of Barry Bonds from the Astros and Ken Griffey Jr. from the Phillies, so basically the bids were Astros and Phillies. Well, none of our Astros did anything special, and Ken Griffey Jr. didn't make the All-Star team, but the Phillies did have Eddie Williams, who homered for the National League, which put the Phillies in the running there. But your MVP was Jose Hernandez, who went 3 for 4 with a home run for the American League, and he is on the Red Sox. Womp womp. It's no winner today, but I will offer another chance to win 10,000 perfect points, mwahaha, to anyone who can predict something else. So, before we dive in further, please give this video a thumbs up if you don't mind helping others find it. You can also subscribe to be notified of new videos as they come out. So let's get to business. We've gone 15-6 since our last stream and stretched out our lead to 8 games in the NL Central, and we're in Cincinnati right now playing the Reds. While they're unlikely to catch up, they are still in possession of the NL wild card with 3 teams chasing them. Padres and the Giants have to leapfrog a couple of teams to get there, but they're also gaining on the Dodgers in the NL West. The American League is much more spread out. The only real question is whether the Tigers can catch either the Rangers or the Yankees to claim a playoff spot. And they're sort of giving it a go here. They just made a trade with the Angels for Kevin Tapani. They got Howie Clark, who's the 225th best prospect in Major League Baseball. So there's good news and bad news. And the good news, for the Tigers anyway, is that Tapani has 3 World Series rings, so certainly brings that good experience. The bad news is he's 5-10 with a 6.18 ERA, I think it says there, in 1996. And there's worse news. He signed for big money through 2001. So I'm pretty sure the Angels were not so disappointed to see him go. The Angels, got Dave Henderson in exchange. He's way past his prime, wrecked injury proneness. This could be his best and last chance to make the postseason, though, where he definitely was prominent in real life. The one thing about this trade that doesn't really make sense for the Angels is it leaves their rotation pretty thin. And the reason why it's thin is because Cy Young candidate Brad Radke is out for the season. He's just 4 strikeouts away from holding the pitching triple crown. And while the Angels still have a good rotation, they've got Brett Saberhagen still, they've got Charles Nagy, they got Jack McDowell. It's a big blow for their title chances because they're really middle of the pack in the American League in runs scored. So in some sense, the Tapani trade kind of represents a good rebuilding move to clear some salary for free agency this offseason. So speaking of moves, we made 2 more, not bullpen this time. First thing we have is future Hall of Famer Mike Schooler is now an Astro. He has 167 career wins, a 2.95 career ERA. He's got 2 Cy Young awards up there, whole bunch of All-Star appearances, and hopefully he's going to get his first World Series ring. He's come close many times. In fact, I think I've stopped him 3 times. And he's already made a start for us. It was glorious. 7 2/3 scoreless innings against the Dodgers. 2 hits, no walks allowed. Thank you. I'll have some more, please. He wasn't free, unfortunately. Tommy Green heads the other way. He's been our best starter for this season. He's got a minor injury right now. He's on the DL, but he'll be off in a week. We could have moved Pete Harnish instead of moving Tommy Green. I think the difference for me was that Green was the free agent after this season. And yeah, he's not Mike Schooler as well as he's pitched. We're going for this year. And yeah, I just hope we don't see Tommy Green in the postseason. We also had to get rid of, in fact, we didn't really mind getting rid of Arthur Rhodes. He also heads to the Padres. He was incredible last season, especially against left-handed hitters. This year's been pretty different. And then more importantly, my other two lefty relievers are healthy, and Rhodes has been a problem in the clubhouse, which I've talked about a fair amount. We got a lot of clubhouse cancers. We're always trying to balance them out with better personalities. So moving on from Rhodes makes sense. Then tougher to give up, Raul Rodarte, who I got in the Rule 5 draft a couple of seasons ago. He was actually really important for us down the stretch. It looks like he's got a pretty bright future. He's crushing AAA this year. But when my outfield is soon going to go Barry Bonds in left, Andrew Jones in center, and Carlos Beltran in right, there's just not going to be room for you, Mr. Rodarte. So a noble sacrifice to get my hands on Mike Schooler. So thank you for everything you've done for the club. Best of luck, or maybe worst of luck, when I'm playing against the Padres. So with that deal, here's what our pitching staff looks like. So Shane Reynolds, Edgardo Vasquez, and Pete Harnish have all had their fair share of trouble lately. Reynolds' arrow is definitely pointing down. Harnish and Vasquez more recently, their arrow is pointing back up. Last video, you saw Vasquez give up 4 home runs in the first 2 innings. Things are getting better for him. Larry Brucher remains the 5 starter and one of our captains now. Unlikely to make the postseason roster. So his main role is to just not be terrible and to build the rest of our clubhouse up. And the bullpen is still rock solid. This is without Don Strange, who's like our 7th inning guy. Harvey and Wetland are just lethal, and everyone else is pretty legit too. This is a wicked bullpen. And yeah, just Mike Schooler makes us all look a whole lot better. But we are not done. I actually tipped my hand a little bit a few minutes ago. We also acquired Edgar Martinez from the Pirates for Ryan Klesko, and we also kind of swept a couple prospects in there. They were pretty even. So Edgar's not quite the same Edgar as he was in real life, but not bad at all. He's got 40 career WAR compared to the 67 he accumulated in real life. And he's still just 33, so there's more time to get some more. And he serves 2 purposes for us. First, need more right-handed bats. Manto's been awesome. I want more. We're still left-handed heavy. Edgar Martinez is a fantastic right-handed bat. And then second, he's a captain. So this should be huge for my team chemistry. He'll start against lefties, and even against righties, he's going to be a really dangerous pitch hitter. And with the way things are going, he'll probably draw a few extra starts here and there too. So Klesko heads the other way. We have to cover some of his costs too. Not a big deal. We're pretty flush with cash. Lost a lot of it on Schooler, but we still had enough. It's been kind of a mess for him this year. He can't field, and he's really just become a poor man's Chad Townsend, both left-handed hitters, first baseman. So he's backing up. At left, there's Bonds, who's a left-handed hitter. And first, there's Chad Townsend, who's a left-handed hitter. It just is not a good fit for him any longer. So not really a big deal moving him on to Pittsburgh. And then I also had to give up Brian Ricard, heads to the Pirates. Hasn't really impressed in the minors, probably more long relief material, but if you're the Pirates, I believe there's pretty small market, cheap 5th starter, long reliever. He's got no major league service time, so be an innings eater for them. And then I do get Matt Beach back. Similar kind of profile as Ricard from rating standpoint, extreme fly ball, low movement, could have some rough outings, disaster outings. But he's actually on a really nice run in the Sally League right now. The numbers he's actually putting up. He's earlier in his minor league career. He has some promise. So this deal was not really about Brian Ricard for Matt Beach. It just made it work. This was about Klesko and getting a big-time captain, pinch hitter, third base-ish guy. So here's what our lineups look like now. I think I mentioned Edgar Martinez will start at third against lefties. Manto now will start to get more of his starts at second base, and then Jeffries will start at first base against lefties. And really, the fact of the matter is, as long as I maintain a comfortable lead, I'm just going to start mixing things up and just keep everyone rested. There's no reason to risk injury. Andrew Jones is still sitting in AAA, barring some kind of injury on this list of players. He'll replace David Justice on the roster at some point and get a whole lot of starts in center field. So got 2 more days to see if there's a trade to make with Justice. Doesn't look like there is. So I may just end up going the DFA route. We'll see. But those details aside, in terms of roster maneuvering, wow, this lineup's on fire. Chris Hoyle's hit 12 home runs this month. I can assume that he's going to win National League Player of the Month. We'll find out in a few days. He's got 200 home runs for his career. Ray Durham's got a 446 on base percentage. Just really sick. And Barry Bonds is back to being himself too. He's been slugging a bunch of homers, getting on base ridiculous. He's all over the place too. Not all over the place. He's dominant. Let's get back to that. So it's all clicking. Well, one guy's not clicking. Tim Bogar. I still can't get rid of him. He actually got a couple hits this month. So bravo. I think that, look at that batting average. Things are looking up. I think that says 060. My screen's a little small. But yeah. So that's the lineup. A couple other things going on around baseball. Mentioned the Reds. We don't have to face him this series, but Chris Nabholz threw a no-hitter against the Mets his last outing. Not bad. 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. But second no-hitter of the season in 1996. We didn't have any in 95. And then Danny Tartabull, former Red, has 2,000 career hits. Second most WAR of all active players in baseball now, only trailing Barry Bonds. And then a former Yankee, Chili Davis, also has 2,000 hits. He's approaching 300 home runs as well. Definitely looking like a Hall of Fame catcher profile, and yes, he's still catching. Probably one more good season. We'll get it. He's got an MVP to his name. He's got a ring to his name. He's got a boatload of All-Star appearances. It's looking good for him. I actually had him on the Padres for one of my World Series there. And then former Royal. So how funny these players are all connected. Fred McGriff has 300 home runs. Beat Chili Davis there, probably just by a week or two here. He actually had some rough years in Kansas City, but it seems like for some reason, as soon as he put the Yankee pinstripes back on at the end of last season, the power returned, and he's actually in the American League MVP conversation. And then, no link here. Sorry, just jump over to the pitching side. Steve Avery earned win number 100 in his career. He has achieved a whole lot in 7 seasons. Whoever drafted him must be very proud. And one more, actually, no, 2 more. Depends. Mark Wohlers, the dominant closer, has 200 saves now. The all-time career saves record fell earlier this month. That is owned by Tim Scott now. But it sure looks like Mark Wohlers is on track to surpass it. 200 saves at age 26. Tim Scott is currently sitting on 313 at age 29. But he has a big problem. He is going to miss the rest of this season and most of next season with torn elbow ligaments. It's a shame how fast it can all fall apart. So it goes from hero last month to not GOAT or anything, but he's going to be a forgotten man for a while here, and we'll see if he comes back to full health. All right, that's the accomplishments. Trade block. Here's what's still sitting out there. I certainly wouldn't mind a good rental center fielder or another stud starting pitcher. A few other options that I'll show you. It's looking pretty unlikely. I think we're about done with the trades, but we'll see. Mike Mussina is out there. The Dodgers are just really willing to give him up. And I'm just not buying it. He's had a number of poor performances now. He's got a shoulder issue. I'm not sure if he's on the DL or not. I think he is on the DL with a shoulder strain. He would cost Pete Harnish and Juan Encarnacion, one of our outfield prospects. This just has blow up written all over it, and I'm chickening out, basically. I'll call it out that way, from making this trade. And then another player I've been looking at and trying to get a deal done is with the Pirates as well, to get Derek Bell, get him back. He was an Astro for a couple seasons with us. The Edgar Martinez trade ended up just being more appealing, and I don't really have room for both of them, unless they want to trade Derek Bell for Edgar Martinez, but they don't. So it doesn't look like the Derek Bell thing is going to quite work out. And then even Mark McGwire is a possibility. He would play a similar role as what I've just done with Edgar Martinez, though, except he's a first baseman instead of a third baseman, but I'm flush with third baseman. It's not a big deal. Big problem with McGwire is he's a toxic clubhouse cancer instead of a captain, which is what Edgar is, and I have enough of those already, thank you very much. So we're holding tight. I don't think I even mentioned, but Mike Schooler is an outspoken personality, so I've added another one to my roster by bringing him on. So, gotta tread carefully. All right, here's the Reds, today's opponent. Rich Becker is their star center fielder. He might win the MVP in the National League between him and Jim Thome. And my goodness, it is amazing that Pedro Guerrero is putting up those numbers. That's hit 340, 15 homers, 77 RBIs. He's 40. And he's been reunited with Fernando Valenzuela more recently from their early 80s Dodgers three-peat. From 81 to 83, they won the World Series. And Valenzuela's been a nice addition to the rotation so far, and they boast 4 lefties, which is tricky for me. It makes me extra glad I brought on Edgar Martinez, because this team, more than any others, really pushes the left-handed pitching. Could be a threat to me. Like I said, I don't think they're a threat to me this year, but they're continuing to build strength. And when you got Pedro Guerrero, I mean, how much longer is it going to last? I think that's a fair question. All right, so anyway, we're 8 up, and we got 2 more games against them. They beat us yesterday. So we got good matchups in both leagues today. We are in Cincinnati. The Giants are in Chicago to face Pedro Martinez. And the Cubs are on fire right now. Watch out. I mentioned the Braves, Padres, and Giants as the main wildcard team, but the Cubs are hanging out too. You just never know. And then the Braves and Padres are heads up too, another key matchup with the wild card. So lots of wild card ramifications for today, in addition to the NL Central battle. And the AL's got stuff going on too. The Angels head to Detroit to face the pitcher they just traded, Kevin Tapani. And then they'll use Charles Nagy, a former Tiger that they signed in the offseason. So a little bit revenge grudge match going on in the Motor City. And the Yankees are heading to Texas. Both teams seem like they've got playoff aspirations close to wrapped up, both just fending off the Tigers. And if the playoffs did start today, this would be the ALDS matchup. So let's see if we can get a win. But first, I promise another chance to win 10,000 perfect points. So here it is. To win, be the first person to comment with which team has the worst record in Major League Baseball at the conclusion of today's games. So sorry, you can't answer it now. You got to watch the rest of the stream to find out. You see what I just did there? I know, that's really cold. It's not too bad. You'll be entertained. Anyway, let's go to Cincinnati and play. We'll see you there. Kevin Garner's taking the hill for the Reds. Very interesting career. Got 56 wins. First round pick of the Pirates. Had a pretty good career there. It's his first year in Cincinnati. Very wild. And he's always managed to get through. But this year is not going so well for him. But he gets us 1, 2, 3. Not a good start for Lenny. Oh, 2 on and 1 out. Got to go up against Dean Palmer now. Yeah, looks like this might be a run. He is in there, so Palmer drives in Guerrero. And we got Becker stealing. Let's get a little rally going here. Can't seem to get a base runner. Nothing. Nothing at all. First strikeout for Bridger. Bridger's got an interesting story. I don't know if we've ever streamed with him pitching, but he was not drafted at all. Houston picked him up as an undrafted free agent in 91. Or sorry, 87. Then he won Rookie of the Year in 91. Thought that'd be fun to share. And he's still carving out a role with us today. Oh, he's on. That was a throwing error by Monty Ferris out there. Maybe Sherman can drive him in. No. No hits through 3. Oh, wow. Garner goes extra bases on us. That's never a good sign. Oh, boy. 3-0 Reds. Kevin Ward hits his 14th of the season. Our slump on actual streams continues. Third walk. Oh, this is ugly. They blew us out last game, too. It was 8-1. This is going to be it for Butcher soon. Five runs given up in 3 innings. And we can't get a hit or a base. If you have a base runner thanks to an error. There we go. Is that gonna fall? It does not. So Jeffries gets us on the board in the hit column. I'm gonna try and squeeze an inning out of Butcher here before we take him out. And they're gonna try and squeeze out another run, and they got it. And we overthrew. Run scores 6-0. Make it 7. Well, been feeling comfortable with this lead over the Reds. It's not feeling so comfortable now. It's going to be 7. They've given us a... Ooh, we throw out the runner at home there to keep it 7-0. Make it 8. Giving us a black eye here. Pretty horrific game. We've got a crazy good offense. I mean, you never know, but it's tall order even for us. Well, we do have the bases loaded. We're going to let Grimes hit? Alright. I guess we're trying to get more innings out of him. Just seems like a, you know, odd way to stop when you need a huge rally. Oh, that's killer. Durham grounds into the double play. So we just get 1 run out of that. And they get it back. This is not that much fun. I think Cincinnati's telling me, don't take us for granted. Message received. Alright, well, we're still down 8. We got a leadoff walk. Here we go. Okay, first 2 on again. Is that a double play too? Nope. Another walk. Kevin Garner is known to walk his fair share of batters. No, that's not what we needed. We needed like a grand slam. Get a run out of it. Is that extra bases? It's not. Alright, Grimes, just give us some innings, please. Actually, he's all done. Gabby Rodriguez, who we picked up in late June. He's been better with us than stats coming in. That's it deep to right. Got it. Jerome Walton. I gave Justice the start in right field because this ballpark is very favorable to left-handed hitters. I did mention I'd be mixing and matching. It was just an example of it. Alright, Belinda's in. See if we can maybe get 2 innings out of him. Bullpen's a little stressed right now because our starter got knocked out early yesterday too. We got a day off after tomorrow. That's a fielder's choice. If we can get Kevin Ward this time. Bases loaded. Pedro Guerrero's got a chance to... Oh, they're pinch hitting for Pedro Guerrero. Interesting choice. Guess they feel like they've got this game in hand. Rest the old man. That was weird. Loop single into right. No go for Hoyles. 0 for 4. Here's Edgar Martinez into pinch hits. He's got himself a base hit. That's his first hit for the Astros, in fact. He's been 0 for 8. Alright, if A-Rod can get a hit and pull within 5. But he can't. No fun today. Well, took Belinda 27 pitches to get through that last inning. I don't think he's going to make it through this one. Well, maybe he will. Alright, he got through it. Well, he'll need a couple days off now. Looks like he threw 45 pitches or so. Well, Justice makes me look good for starting him. Meaningless 9th inning home run. No go for Colburn. Sherman's got an extra base hit. 0 for 4 for Durham. Not his best game. Oh, okay. Of course he gets a triple. He always gets triples. I don't know how many that is now. He has many triples. Alright, we're within 4. We can do this, guys. We can do this. Or not. So we fall to the Reds. Once again, David Justice made me look good with a single and a homer. We turned 13 base runners into 5 runs, but way too little too late. Kevin Ward got it big with the home run in the 3rd. He had an RBI single. He walked twice. He scored twice. He was everywhere, but he wasn't alone. Roberto Pettagini homered. Dean Palmer was on 3 times. Vicky Morandini was on 3 times. Even their pitcher got a double, so they were just all over us. This was easily the worst start of the season for Brochures. ERA's over 5 now. Kind of just holding on for dear life. Hoping that we don't need him in the playoffs, although even if we did, we probably would have other starters we'd use from the minors. And Kevin Garner, on the other hand, pretty good. One of his better starts of the season. He's somehow 6-3 with that nice fancy 7 ERA. But, oh well. That's what run support looks like. Other National League games. Pedro Martinez gave up 2 homers, one to Pudge Rodriguez and the other one to Maglio Ordonez, but it was enough for the Cubs to win 3-2, and their rally continues. The Dodgers get 5 hits, including 2 homers from Rafael Palmeiro, but they lose to the Marlins, and the Braves beat the Padres to keep up with the Reds for the wild card. And on the AL side, the new acquisition for the Tigers, Kevin Tapani, got them the win over California. Charles Nagy got hammered and dropped to 14-3. Kirk Rutter threw a 5-hit shutout there for the Twins. And the Bronx Bombers hit 3 out of the park in their 6-2 win over the Rangers. And then not shown on this list of games, our boy, or I should say our nemesis, Chito Martinez, is back. He got the A's a win with 2 home runs. He's finally latched onto them. It took a while for him to sign. It was till June. after playing a huge role in the playoffs from the Cubs last season. So he's back. Hopefully he just stays in Oakland. They're not making the playoffs. I don't have to worry about him. Standings. All the divisions hold steady, except for us. We lost a game to the Reds there. The Expos now have the best record in baseball. And the other Canadian team, the Blue Jays, now hold the worst record in baseball. I just thought I'd mention that. Anyway, that's a wrap for this video. I've also just finished a video on the 1986 season, 10 years ago, back when I was with the Padres. Check that out. I'll make 1987 at some point as well. And I got another fun one cooking up that covers the entirety of this save from a little bit of a different angle. And I'm on the hunt for more ideas out there, so don't be shy. Really appreciate some of the ideas, requests, support you guys have been sending me either through comments or just direct messenger type stuff. Thank you so much for that. And if you like the content, again, give the video a thumbs up. Help others find it. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. Hopefully we'll see you again for the next one.